Hello and welcome to the garden. This is going to be a quick update on the fruit trees and bushes because much to my surprise the final 3 plants have actually arrived. I had pretty much given up hope of getting them this year. So what I've got here is the last of the stone fruit, which we're going to train around the fence here. And this one's a plum and it's Kirke's Blue. Now, this has been hacked about a bit and I don't like to see that. There's been a lot of random hacking about of the branches up here, and if I'd wanted to head the tree here, this would have been rather annoying. But as it happens, I'm fan training, so I do have a pair of branches here that might do a reasonable job. I would perhaps have liked them to start a little lower down, but I think these will be okay. Now, this was obviously a pretty vigorous specimen. You can see that from the state of the main stem. It's got an acceptable bit of root, but some of this is damaged, and it's a pity that they've hacked quite so much of this off. If this had a bit more root on it, I think this would be an excellent tree. But I expect it will establish okay. It doesn't look too bad. And all I'm going to do is drop that in the planting hole. I'm going to add a little bit of mycorrhizal fungi, and then I'm going to fill that back and water it in. So here I've got the Redcurrant Wilson's Long Bunch, and I'm very glad to have got this plant because this is a rather difficult one to get hold of. I think this is a pretty robust specimen. These are 2 very vigorous branches here, and there's a reasonable bit of root on this, so I have high hopes for this currant bush establishing reasonably well, despite the fact that it is really too late to be planting this. You can see that this is already bursting forth into leaf, and this should have been in the ground, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I thought I was rather late planting the others, and they've been in for a couple of weeks already. But nonetheless, I think this should hopefully establish okay, and it looks like a pretty sturdy specimen. So I've had 1 red currant and 1 white currant arrive that have been started in, let's say, the traditional way, with a bare leg before they've been headed and branches allowed to develop. I've also got 1 red currant that has been grown on a stall, much as you would for a blackcurrant. I could, I suppose, cut one of these 2 branches away and then head this, say this one here probably, and develop this one in the traditional way, or I could keep both branches and continue with it from there. And I'm in 2 minds, to be honest, but I think it would be a little bit of a shame to cut this other branch off, so I think I will develop this one in the what I think of as the more modern way, and keep both of these branches. What I will do here is just shorten these branches to encourage some side branches to develop. So this is the Blackcurrant Noir de Bourgogne. Now, redcurrants and blackcurrants differ in their fruiting habits. So the redcurrant will happily fruit on old wood, whereas with the blackcurrant, old wood tends to become unproductive. So the usual way of dealing with these is to cut out maybe a quarter to a third of the old wood each year to make way for the replacements. You may just be able to make out these buds at the base. Now these are going to produce the new branches. So the idea with this one is to bury it probably about here, and then these branches will come up and this will develop into the usual stool that you expect to see with a blackcurrant. Now this one has quite a nice amount of fibrous root on it and looks like a reasonably vigorous plant again. So although again it's a bit late to be planting this out, I am pretty happy with this specimen. And again, I will cut these back slightly. I don't like this growth here at all. I'm going to remove that. That bit there is dying back. And I think I will take this out here. Or, no, I'll take that out there. And this little branch here is of no use to me, so I'll cut that back below soil level. Job done. Well, I'm very glad that the final fruiting plants arrived. Now that completes the planting for this year for the fruit cage. There's still some space right at the very end. We haven't really decided what we're going to put there. We could fan train another tree or perhaps put a row of raspberries along the back. There are also a couple of places around the fence that we could use as well, but that's something to think about this year and maybe look at putting a couple of extra plants in next winter. But anyway, that is all for this video, so thanks very much for watching and bye for now.